Mheshimiwa, you were making some comments about that. I mean, many Kenyans, of course, we will be talking about what you were saying, the subject of this news conference today, but a lot of Kenyans looking at you seated here will be wondering, what does Moses Wetangula think about what's happened there with Kalonzo Musyoka?
You know, the whole thing, in my view, spiraled out of context, because the gentleman who asked the question asked a question that I had exactly answered hardly 30 seconds earlier. They had asked what would CORD be doing different that Jubilee is doing on security. And I had said that we will focus on intelligence gathering other than using brute force. And as soon as I finished, he asked exactly the same question.
So what has name got to do with it?
What is in a name to begin with? Nothing.
So it's okay for you to say, I know you would say that because you're Wetangula.
Yes. These days people call me Weta, and I take it as part of my name.
No, but what Kenyans, you saw a lot of Kenyans on Twitter very angry, saying someone tell Kalonzo Musyoka, because they were very angry that he appeared to be singling out this gentleman and profiling him, so to speak, that his name, just because he had a certain name, he was bound to have a certain opinion.
Well. One writer said the name we carry is either a blessing or a curse. But I do not believe that my brother Kalonzo Musyoka was being driven by an ethnic feeling or agenda. But who has brought ethnicity to the fore of our conduct of business in this country is the Jubilee government. The Jubilee government has literally entrenched ethnicity in public affairs.
He apologized, though.
He apologized, yes. He apologized, and that's
You don't seem to believe he should have.
No. I'm not saying he shouldn't have. He apologized as a gentleman, as a man of integrity. If you say something inadvertently offending people, surely you have a duty to apologize, and we should let the chips lie where they fell. He has apologized.
Great.
I think let's not dwell on form, let's deal with substance. And
great. And talking of substance, you have talked about IEBC, and you were saying that you're going to sponsor a bill in Parliament to, among other things, disband the IEBC. And speaking to many different experts, they seem to believe that we can't be in this business of disbanding commissions every time something happens. We've been disbanding these commissions 2007. We disbanded the IIEC and created a new one. Now we are saying, well, they failed, we are going to disband it again. Is the problem disbanding?
Remember that IEBC as a constitutional institution is here to stay. What is the problem is the holders of the office of the IEBC, who have demonstrated that they have had the inability to discharge their duty independently, to the satisfaction of Kenyans, to foster and strengthen democracy, and to deliver a credible election. We know...
So what are you going to be doing? What is this bill going to be doing?
We have instructed our lawyers, who are many, both within and without Parliament, who are now scrounging through the law, and we can do what we did to the Kivuitu Commission, send them home, but not kill the Commission. Nobody wants to kill the Commission. We want the Commission to remain an organ that can conduct elections.
But this Commission, these people were appointed at a time when some of you people were in fairly influential positions. So yes. Who takes the blame?
I can tell you for free that I didn't participate in any of the appointments, but they were appointed nonetheless, and they were passed through Parliament. Yes, as a member of Parliament at the time, my vote counted. And you never can tell that people have convoluted minds until you give them responsibility. We gave them responsibility,
and some of the failures,
and they ended up not doing the job.
And Mheshimiwa, with respect, some of the failures that we've talked about, whether it was with regards to the procurement issues around BVR, whether it was a failure of EVITs and everything, and many people would say, well, these processes began when the other administration, which some of you were part of, was still in office. So surely if there are failures there, wouldn't you say that some people who are prominent figures in the opposition right now, the former Prime Minister, even yourself, you are a minister at the time, yes, should also take responsibility?
Are you telling me that if I hire a security guard on the basis of his credentials, and at night he doesn't do his job, he sleeps on the job, I have no right to say that he's not good enough. I have the right. We hired these people.
I'm talking about
we hired
taking
these
responsibility.
people on the basis of credible credentials that they paraded. We gave them a job to do. They bungled the elections. Some of them who are close to us, Joe, have told us that they know for a fact that President Uhuru Kenyatta got more votes than Raila Odinga, but he didn't get 50% plus one. They had to smoothen, they had to panel beat, they had to restructure the numbers to get the 50.000 something that they announced, and we know it. You know it.
No, but you had a court case which you could win. I mean, we raised some of those questions in our investigative series, which was not sponsored by court, by the way.
We never sponsored it, yes.
But we raised some of those issues. But what many lawyers like yourself are saying that you couldn't prove these things in the highest court in the land. So you can't possibly prove it in the court of public opinion.
You know the story of the case in the Supreme Court. Our entire bundle of evidence that would have proved
this is the court of the land, surely. A lawyer like yourself wouldn't dismiss the Supreme Court. That is where matters get settled.
We said this, Joe. We respected the verdict of the court. We didn't agree with it. And for the sake of peace, security, tranquility, and good order in our country, we said let the chips lie where they fell.
But surely, is it going to be fair only when court wins? Because at the end of the day, all of us are subject to the legal system, isn't it? So when we go to the court, the Supreme Court, surely who is that who's going to make the decision and you say that is fair?
At no time did the court demand that Raila Odinga be declared the winner of the elections. We said that Uhuru got more numbers than Raila. But we also said, and it's known, that he didn't get the threshold in the Constitution of 50% plus one. And the logical following was to go to a runoff, which is provided for in the Constitution, which would have been called, which we were ready to go for, and nobody can tell who would have won the runoff.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, we have to draw this down, but CORD is now the alternative government. That is what people in the opposition are supposed to be.
Yes.
Give me one thing that you would like to define you as the opposition, where we'll look at you and say, if CORD were in power, this would have been different.
If CORD was in power, definitely these endless scandals you are seeing would not be there. Look at the scandal of the laptops. Look at the scandal of the railway, the standard gauge railway. Look at the botched insecurity operations right from Westgate to what we are seeing going on today. If we were in power, we would not be ethnicizing the country the way we are seeing with a country focusing on only 2 regions and largely 2 ethnic groups. There are 42 communities in this country. If we were in power, we would be doing things differently, I can assure you.
I would have to cut you short, but thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Moses WETANGULA, who is a minority leader in the Senate and also a co-principal in CORD. We obviously will be continuing this conversation. I will take you right back now to Yvonne and Wilson.